Hi everyone, this is Joe and welcome to another episode of Joe DeRay's Cooks. This is a special episode in observance of St. Patrick's Day tomorrow. I will show you how to make beef and Guinness stew with a side of mashed potatoes. The beef stew is a very involved recipe to follow. There are a lot of steps, so be sure to give yourself between 3 and 3.5 hours between prepping and cooking time. Irish stew is a stew native to Ireland that is traditionally made with root vegetables, lamb or mutton, but it's also commonly made with beef. This stew recipe is full of tender beef, hearty vegetables, and a rich tomato stout gravy. I am so excited to make this recipe, so let's stop talking and let's start cooking. So here's what you'll need. For the mashed potatoes, a 5-pound bag of Yukon Gold potatoes. And for the stew, 1 pound of bacon cut into small pieces, 2.5 pounds of boneless beef chuck cut into 2-inch pieces, salt and pepper to taste, 2 onions coarsely chopped, 5 minced garlic cloves, 1 14.9 ounce can of Guinness beer, oh yeah, a 1/4 cup of tomato paste, 4 sprigs of thyme, 3 carrots cut into 1-inch pieces, 2 celery stalks cut into 1-inch pieces, 1 teaspoon of white sugar, and finally 2.5 cups of chicken broth, or as needed to cover. Start by seasoning the beef chuck cubes generously with salt and pepper. Next, cook and stir in the bacon in a heavy skillet over medium-high heat until all the bacon is browned and crisp, about 10 to 15 minutes. Turn off the heat and transfer the bacon into a large stew pot or Dutch oven, reserving the bacon fat in the skillet. Turn the heat to high under the skillet and sear the seasoned beef pieces in the hot fat on both sides until brown, about 5 minutes. You can work in batches so not to overcrowd. Place the beef in the stew pot with the bacon, leaving the fat in the skillet. Turn the heat down to medium. Cook and stir the onions in the fat until lightly browned, about 5 to 8 minutes, and season with a large pinch of salt. Add the garlic with the onions and cook them until they're soft, about 1 minute. Next, take a can of Guinness beer and pour it into the skillet. And stir with a wooden spoon, scraping up and dissolving any brown bits of food into the liquid, about 2 to 3 minutes. Next, pour the cooking liquid from the skillet into the stew pot. The next step is you stir in the tomato paste, the thyme sprigs, the carrots, celery, sugar, about a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, and enough chicken broth to cover the contents. Now turn the heat to high, bringing the stew to a gentle simmer, stirring occasionally to combine. Once you see the stew starting to simmer, reduce the heat to low and cover the stew pot. Simmer the stew for about 2 hours until the beef is either fork or knife tender. So while the stew is simmering for a couple of hours, I thought I would crack open a Guinness. Why not? When in Rome, or shall I say, when in Dublin. Cheers, everybody. So while the stew is simmering, I'm going to start making the mashed potatoes. And with my mashed potatoes, I like to use Yukon Gold potatoes. While the stew is simmering, stir it occasionally and skim the fat or foam if you want. Most stews taste better if excess fat is removed. The fat will rise to the surface and solidify, so all you have to do is lift it off the top with a spoon. Remove the cover and raise the heat to medium-high. Bring the stew to a low boil and cook until the stew has slightly thickened, about 15 to 20 minutes. And now back to the potatoes. Once the water comes to a boil, add the cut up pieces of potatoes and cook them until they're soft and fully cooked through. This will be about 10 minutes or so. When the potatoes are fully cooked, pour them into a colander to get all the water out. Then put them back in the pot. You can make your mashed potatoes any way you want. I'd like to add a stick of butter and then pour about a cup of milk to get the consistency or texture that I want. You can also add sour cream. It's totally up to you. Next, use a blender to mash the potatoes. Add more milk if you want smoother mashed potatoes. Add salt and pepper to taste. And keep blending until you're done. We are almost there. Remove and discard the thyme sprigs. Don't worry, there's no rush. Take your time. Sorry, pun intended. You can also adjust salt and pepper to taste. The stew is finally all done. It's ready to serve.
Oh, so good.
So I am really looking forward to this. Oh my God, this is amazing. The beef is so tender. There's so much flavor in here. Oh my God, this is outstanding. Oops. Oh my God. This is incredible. You have to try this. If you don't, I'm gonna get mad. Oh, this is great. Send me an email at joe.derayscooks.com. Let me know how yours came out. Let me know if you tried something different. I could eat this every day. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. Enjoy. See you next time.